It's good to see XRP still sitting in the trending box. In fact, XRP is kind of the new Bitcoin at the moment, where it's actually the one moving and controlling the market. XRP moving up and things following suit, XRP moving slightly in the wrong direction, and everything else moving in the wrong direction. So a lot of the movement that we saw yesterday was related to XRP. No particular catalyst moved Bitcoin really. A lot of it was responding to XRP. So XRP is growing up and, fulfilling its position as the market mover of all the cryptocurrencies, the new Bitcoin, all right? No financial advisory and research. I did a video about XRP flipping Ethereum. I think that's going to happen for sure. This bull run, it's going to move into second place and it's going to be a major mover of the altcoins. We're coming to a time when XRP itself graduates from an altcoin to just being XRP, something that, people put in their algorithms to trade other tokens, right? However, Bitcoin continues to expand and there are many signs that show that Bitcoin is making a huge proliferation into the United States. Now that a lot of people are anticipating a more crypto-friendly environment, a more Bitcoin-friendly environment in the United States, and they're understanding how far ahead countries like China and even Russia are surging when it comes to Bitcoin, I think people are recalculating. The legislation is starting to catch up and we're starting to see things like this. So we know that the United States as a country is trying to build a Bitcoin reserve, right? Now, of course, they already have some Bitcoin that they seized from Silk Road. And I'm willing to bet that they've already actually started buying Bitcoin in the back because, why would they wait for the legislation before they start buying? There's got to be some preemptive buying because they're not going to wait for China and Russia and BRIC countries and Saudi Arabia to front run them because they know those guys are just doing it. They don't need to announce anything. They could just buy anytime they want, right? So I'm willing to bet that there are some, plausible deniability based organizations that have been set up to buy Bitcoin in the first place, right? Anyway, in the United States, the way the politics work, states have their own governments that are separate from the federal government. So states can enact their own rules and regulations and legislations and laws and whatever, and do things like this. Texas kicks off 89th legislative session with new strategic Bitcoin reserve bill. If passed and signed into law, it would make Texas the first state to establish a strategic Bitcoin reserve, says the senator. This Texas senator has introduced a bill in the new legislative session to establish a strategic Bitcoin reserve in the Lone Star State. It's time for Texas to lead the way in establishing a strategic Bitcoin reserve, the Republican politician and physician said while announcing the state bill on January 16th. If passed and signed into law, it would make Texas the first state in the nation to establish a strategic Bitcoin reserve, he said before adding, this would position our state at the forefront of the digital economy, driving growth and securing economic freedom for our great state. The Texas Strategic Bitcoin Reserve Act aims to establish a special fund outside the General Revenue Fund, allowing the state to own and hold Bitcoin as a financial asset and accept Bitcoin donations from the public. Now, that's crucial. That is including the public as well, because not only is the state going to be buying, well, the state is going to be moving forward with more Bitcoin friendly regulations. This is probably happening. I don't know because I haven't researched it deep enough, but I can fathom the time when, taxes are payable in Bitcoin. I mean, who pay their tax in Bitcoin? I have no idea. But, donations in Bitcoin means, a friendly disposition towards people holding Bitcoin in the first place, right? So, companies and organizations and even maybe government parastatals operating in Bitcoin. That's a thing, right? And of course, Texas is known for the energy production. There's a lot of mining going on in Texas. There's a lot of excess energy right now that could be used for mining Bitcoin. Unfortunately, Texas is really hot. So mining Bitcoin in Texas is probably not the most efficient because of the heat the servers generate. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. There's some negativity towards that. But that's why, the United States are looking to buy Greenland and stuff. Because if they were to buy Greenland, first of all, it's not as big as it looks, by the way. Greenland is not as massive. It's a skewed map. It's much smaller than it looks on the map. But Greenland, which is really ice, is a frozen place and there's a lot of efficiency that can be achieved with the servers. They don't have to use liquid nitrogen to cool the servers like you would need in Texas, for instance, right? But then, the United States has got Alaska, or Alyaska, as it was originally known, for Bitcoin mining, right? Just like Russia is using Siberia, Alaska is a great place, You've got Nebraska, you've got all those cold places. Heck, you could buy Canada and use northern Canada for that. It recognized BTC as a valuable digital asset with strategic potential for enhancing this state's financial resilience, while acknowledging its decentralized nature and finite supply, which are unique qualities that can serve as a hedge against inflation and economic volatility. Now everybody's talking about hedge against inflation because you know what? The writing is on the wall and these people can see it. Anyway, talking about negativity, right? Americans, how do you pronounce it? Arkansas, right? It's not Arkansas. Arkansas, right? Arkansas lawmakers float bill to ban crypto mining near military facilities. Now, they're not banning crypto mining. The reasons that they give are quite hilarious. I've highlighted them to talk about them in a minute, right? So Arkansas lawmakers have introduced a new bill that would ban crypto mining operations within 30 miles of any U.S. military facilities in the state. Senate Bill SB 60 was introduced by Senator Ricky Hill and House Speaker Brian Evans on January 15th, aiming to amend the Arkansas Data Centers Act of 2023 to keep crypto mining facilities away from military installations. The bill includes military bases, camps, hospitals, clinics, and arsenals and restricts crypto mining within a 30-mile radius. However, it includes a grandfathering clause for facilities, that's good to know, facilities fully constructed and operational before December 31, which will be allowed to continue. So that's good to know. So if already you have a facility in one of those locations, it's not going to be destroyed. You can actually carry on with your mining, right? The move bears some similarities to an order from the Biden administration in May that prevented a China-linked crypto mining firm from using the land near a military base in Wyoming. Now, the truth is coming out while they're a bit nervous. Obviously, China is far ahead now with the mining. China is also very good with the espionage and the spying, etc. And having a crypto mining rig is a perfect, hiding place. It's a perfect front for a spy agency's operations. And installing those near military facilities is understandably a case of national security, of course. The mayor cited noise pollution concerns following complaints by residents in December, while Senator Hill cited national security concerns. So one person is saying it's national security, which is understandable because they don't understand these mining rigs yet. It's something new and fancy. It's high tech. It's futuristic from their point of view. But a mining rig is just a bunch of computers churning away. But I can understand how that could be perceived as a possible national security threat because, of course, the noise that it generates, the fact that you have servers doing a whole bunch of things, you can have other servers mixed in with that, doing some things, connecting to your internet, doing, as a front for, that's perfectly understandable. But the noise pollution thing, I don't think that a bunch of servers in a server center would be louder than, say, an Air Force base with F-16s and F-15s taking off and landing and B-52s, kicking off their engines and stuff. Unless the data centers are actually intermixed into the residential areas, then I don't think, I'm not sure how much noise, those mining rigs are making. I mean, I used to run a little mining rig for my house, but then obviously that's you can't compare that to these giant operations that are mining. Basically, I mean, you have to join a mining pool now as an individual miner to make any money at all. Even then, it's highly unlikely they're going to make anything now. Back in those days, it was easy. You could, buy a MacBook Mini or a little Windows computer and just have it running in the background. And your electricity bill, obviously, was being used up, but the coins that you were generating, Litecoin, Bitcoin, whatever, the amount of money that you were making mining was greater than your electricity, especially if you didn't spend those coins and actually save them. They're infinitely greater now, right? But, mining now is for large corporations and countries, right? These centers cause loud noise disturbances and pollution that produce negative effects on our people's pets, wild animals, nature, and overall well-being, he said. Well, the pets and nature I can understand because obviously dogs and cats can hear frequencies that we can't. So I'm willing to bet that, yeah, sure, those centers are probably generating some high frequency pitch noises that we might not hear, but dogs will be going absolutely insane. So yeah, all in all, this might seem a little bit negative, but I think, it's setting some rules. It doesn't say that it bans mining. It just says don't mine near an airport or military base or military hospital, what have you. And, make sure that you're not upsetting residents. I think this is actually positive. I went into the article thinking it was a negative thing, but actually it's positive. And, all these companies have to do is move to Alaska or to Greenland or Canada or what have you. Or let's just let the Chinese and Russians mine. Bitcoin is here to stay and it's going to $1 million. Everyone's doing it. Countries are buying it. States are buying it. The future is Bitcoin. The future is crypto. Not financial advice, your own research. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.